Morning, everybody. How are you doing on this great morning? And today we're talking about how to do lead research. So this is a very interesting topic. This topic about lead research. Lead research. Okay, we're going to talk about this topic right now. Let's jump right into this topic. So you might be asking, what is this thing which we call lead research? So lead research is you're doing research for clients, you're doing research for companies, but what are you researching? You're researching what we call leads. You're researching contacts. Okay, this is what you're researching. And these leads and contacts, these are usually potential customers of your client, potential customers of your business. You're getting things like their name, their email address, their phone number, their physical address sometimes, their physical address as well, and other information which can be important to you as to your client as a business. But it's not to be confused with this other kind of work, which is called lead generation. Lead generation is also very popular. So I've sometimes lead research is confused with lead generation. Sometimes they're used in the same terms, in the same discussions. But a lot of times when you say lead generation, sometimes people think of something else. Instead of lead research, they think of what we call email list building. So let's take a look at the difference here, okay? Because when we say lead generation, when you say, okay, let me accept the job for lead generation, you see these jobs on Upwork, you see clients hiring through these jobs, it could mean two things. It could mean lead research, or it could mean email list building. Okay, two very different things. Email lead research, here you're doing research. You're finding information, you're finding contact information, you're finding names, phone numbers, and so on. That's what you're doing with lead research. But with email list building, you're doing something else. You're getting people to join a list. You're getting people to join a newsletter. You know how when you go on websites and they have this box saying join our newsletter, or download our free course and join our newsletter, and this is list building. Okay? So when you're doing lead research, you're finding information. When you're doing list building, you're like marketing a certain newsletter to people. So if you see a job that says lead generation, be careful here. Don't be, you want to dive into the details. You want to look at the description and figure out which one it is. Is this lead research or is it email list building? Okay, because that can get very confusing. But today we're focusing more on the lead research part. Lead generation, we can talk about that in a separate discussion. Okay, so now let's go ahead. What's involved? What is involved, or what do you have to do with, let me just do this, LR, lead research. What does one have to do with lead research? So lead research involves a number of different tasks. It involves analyzing and understanding the company. It involves understanding the business, the client who you're dealing with. You don't just have to understand the company. You also have to understand its products. This is a product of the company. That looks very weird. You have to understand its services. If it's a service-based company, that's a wrench, by the way. So as a lead researcher, these are all things that you have to understand. And the reason why you really have to understand this is because you're going to come up with a profile. You're going to come up with the demographics of who the best target market is for your client, for the business you're doing research for. So what I want you guys to do, I want some audience participation here this morning. So can you give me a business type? Give me a business type. Type it in the comments. You know, tell me name any business and let me know what it is in the comments. And are you selling something? Are you providing a service? Are you selling a product? And let me know in the comments. While I'm waiting for that, just a reminder once again, guys, feel free to share this. Please share this, with your family and friends. I only see 2 shares right now here, and we're doing this for free. So yes, please share this with your family and friends. Okay, we have here Emily and Bong. They both said real estate. So let's go with real estate. Okay, let's go with real estate because that's a very common industry that does lead research. Okay, so let's take a look at real estate. So with real estate, let's say you're selling houses, right? So this is consumer. You're selling to consumers, not businesses. Okay, and let's say that you're selling houses, or well, let's look in the Philippines because a lot of us understand it better. Let's look at the Philippines, and let's say you're selling condominium units. All right, let's say you're selling Ayala condominium units. They have this high-end condominium line. I forgot what it's called, but you're selling high-end Ayala condominium units in the Philippines. Okay, or your client's doing it. Your client is Ayala. Wow, that's very nice. Your client is Ayala selling condo units. And not just any condo units, the high-end condo units. Okay, so first of all, you have to understand the business. You have to understand the products and services. So you understand that this is what you're selling. And now the next thing you do if you're doing lead research is you understand. You understand, you understand the market. Who are they really targeting? Who would buy these high-end condo units? So you come up with what we call market demographics. Let's say you're targeting married couples. Married, and they have to be married. They have to be between the ages of 30 to 50. I'm just coming up with random demographics here, but if you're a researcher, you have to actually study this. But I'm not really so much, but let's say married, ages 30 to 50, who are earning at least, let's say 80,000 pesos per month. Okay, let's say they're in this area. Okay, so married, age 30 to 50, earning 80,000 pesos per month. And then you have units in BGC. So you're looking for people who work near BGC. So you're looking for people who currently work in Makati, in Taguig, in Mandaluyong. That's near BGC as well. And I know other cities are near BGC and not very good with geography in Manila. But so you come up with this profile. Okay, you're gonna have, they're married, they're age 30 to 50, they're earning between 80,000 pesos a month and above, and they work in these areas. So this is the profile that you create, and you as a lead researcher should know enough about the business. You should know enough about market demographics to come up with this profile. Okay, so that's part of your job. And then now that you have this, now that you've come up with a profile, what you do is you send it back to the client. You say, hey, client, is this okay? Does this sound like the market that you're targeting? Does this sound like the people you want to target with high-end condo units in BGC? Maybe for BGC, it should be like 100,000 a month at least because they're very expensive in that area. So is this who you're targeting? And then once they say yes, what you do is you're going to use different tools to find the information on these people. Where's my eraser here? What you're going to do is you're going to use these tools to find to find things like, let's say you're going to find their name, right? You need to know who falls within this category. You need to find their age. You need to find their phone number. You need to find their email, their current address. You need to find how many kids they have. And other information which may be useful. So you're going to be using a multitude of different tools to find this information. And once you have this information, you give it back to the client, and that kind of info is extremely important for the client. That's extremely important for the business. In this case, we're talking about Ayala land, Ayala condominium, whatever. Okay, so let's ask, why is this important for businesses? Why is this important? Why is this information important for business? Because, well, especially when you're starting up as a business. When you're starting up as a business, you have no idea who your potential customers are. And a lot of us, I've started several businesses. I'm sure a lot of you guys have started businesses. It's very scary, right? You don't know who your customers are. And you have to find some way to reach out to them. And for some businesses, lead research, the information on leads is extremely vital, because once they have this information, they can contact the leads. They have the phone number, they have the email address, they can contact their potential customers, they can send emails, they can do what we call cold calling. And these are very popular in the US. In the Philippines, then you'd also have text, If you were dealing with the Philippines, you'd get their cell phone numbers, you text them campaigns. Sometimes I'm sure you guys have been texted. Have you guys received that? Just random texts from companies? I sometimes get them. And have you guys experienced that? Maybe sometimes even random calls, maybe sometimes random emails from companies trying to sell a product or service. Have you guys experienced that? And I know I have. And this is very popular in the US, especially when we're dealing with business-to-business companies. If you're selling a service to businesses, this becomes all the more important, right? Yeah, and yes, we do get that spam, right? Everyday calls, emails. It's very popular in the USA, but not so popular here. Hopefully, it won't pick up so much in the Philippines that we don't get bothered so much. But it happens so much in the US, and it happens because it works. People buy when they're emailed, people buy when they're called. And when we're talking about these companies, this becomes extremely vital. So you as a lead research are going to be very important to the survival of your client's business. Because if they don't have this information, they can't sell. They don't know who to sell to. They can't sell their products. And then they're going to be very sad. They're going to have to close the business. They're going to lose money. But if you can provide great lead research for a company, then you will make a company happy. That's a happy face right there. And they'll be extremely grateful to you. You'll be a major reason why a company will succeed and why a company will survive. We have a number of students who do this. I know Christina Garcia does lead research. She's been very successful in this area. She's just focused on this one. She did virtual assistant work and she learned how to do lead research, and she's focusing on that. And she's learned about the business. If you're starting out, you might not know so much about business and products and services and demographics so much. This might be complicated for you, but what somebody like Maria Cristina Garcia did, she did virtual assistant work first, and while she understood what lead research was all about, while she studied demographics and products and services and how this works, and now she's doing that. She's making a good amount of money, and I can tell how much she's making a good amount of money doing this for clients. Okay, another common question we get here is, what are the tools with lead research? What tools do you use? Well, there are different kinds of tools, but let me give you some. There are lots. There are probably hundreds of different tools that you can use, but LinkedIn, being a master of LinkedIn is important. When I do these lead research, sometimes I use a website called Find That Lead. There's another tool called DuckSoup, and you use these differently. You're going to have to learn how to use these tools if you try to use them. There's also something called data.com, Prospector, and there are a lot of different tools which do require study. Okay, now, if you're asking, should I do this? Should you get into lead research? Should I, or should you? Should you get into lead research? Well, Let me put yes. That's YSE. I don't know how to spell anymore. Let me say yes. And over here, no. What's the reason why you should and you shouldn't do it? Yes, it's very, if you like the challenge, it is very challenging. And if it's difficult to learn, well, let's put that in the no column. Okay, okay, here. It's difficult to learn at first. Difficult, how do you spell to learn? But on the other hand, once you know it, it's repetitive. It's repetitive in the sense that once you're good at it, it's just the same thing over and over again. You know how to find this information. You can find it for one person. You can find it for other people. Racy, yes, this is live. You're watching right now. Okay. So yes, it can be. That's a reason why you should do it, because once you know it, it becomes very easy. Why you shouldn't do it is because it requires business, and I'm talking about difficult to learn the tools here, different, but it also requires some business and marketing and demographics knowledge, which you might not have right now. If you haven't studied this, you might not have this right now. Okay. On the yes side, it can pay very well. It can pay very well. Now, if you don't have these skills yet, if you don't have this knowledge yet, my recommendation for you is to do virtual assistant work first while you're learning this. And when you're doing virtual assistant work, you can also learn, when you're dealing with businesses, you learn more about business, you learn more about clients, their needs, their products and services. So my suggestion is just to do virtual assistant work first. Let me write this here, is to do virtual assistant work before you go into lead research, because virtual assistant work, it's a lot easier to begin with. And then you get into the more complicated things. Don't jump into something extremely complicated right away. Okay. Yes, general virtual assistant work. Like Aisha is asking here, yes, it's difficult. It's difficult to do lead research. So do general VA work first, and then find out what you're good at. Find out, if you want to do lead research, find out more about this, find out about the tools, about business, about marketing, about business demographics. While you're learning, you're working as a general VA and you're learning this stuff at the same time. Because it is difficult if you're just going to jump into it. And if you want to learn more about virtual assistant work, we do have a free course called freevacourse.com. And we teach a little bit about doing lead research as well. We teach you some of that. But check out our free course. Go on Free VA Course if you want to learn more about becoming a virtual assistant. Our paid course, our VA Bootcamp, we teach about finding leads a little bit. Okay, let me see. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I'm seeing a number of comments here. I'm going to get to them. Let me type your questions in. If you have any questions about lead research, about virtual assistant work, or anything related to freelancing, or I guess anything you can ask, type it in the comment section. Okay, Relj is asking, do clients ask you to do the cold lead calling? In most cases, no. Most clients, they don't ask you to do the cold calling because these are different skills, right? If we're talking about, you find the lead research, and from lead research, a client can do cold calling or cold emailing. These require different skills, because when you're doing lead research, usually you're good at marketing, you're good at research, you're good at computers. Sometimes you're good at things like HTML as well. But when you're doing cold calling, this is an entirely different set of skills. Like, I can do lead research. I'm okay with doing lead research, but I hate doing cold calling, actually. I really hate doing cold calling. You have to have sales skills, you have to have persuasion skills, very good people skills. And I've tried it before when I was in a BPO. And we had like a list of leads that we call, and someone else would of course generate those leads and do the research on those leads. Cold emailing, usually somebody else can do it. But if you can offer, like if you are a VA and you want to focus on lead research plus cold emailing, if you can if you can combine these two together, it's a very valuable service for business because they don't have to look for anyone else. So if you can do both, that's amazing. Offer that service. If you can't, no worries. You just offer one of them because these are totally different skills. They don't need to go together. There we go. These are some other skills. Thank you, Racy. Lead given, sales navigator. Yes, sales navigator. I've used that before. Lead given. Those are also some tools that you can use for lead research, but these have their different systems and UIs. So if you're new to this, you're going to get very confused when you go in there. So yeah, I don't recommend this as a new, if you're starting, if you're just a newbie, start with general VA work because this can get very confusing. How to join again with a virtual assistant, please? Well, check out the free course. If you want to check out the free course that'll teach you how to get started, go over to freevacourse.com. Okay, head over to this website. I have a free 5-day course for you there that should help you out with getting started. Oh, here's Relj toxic one pala yung tipong babagsakan ka. You're getting hung up on. Sorry guys, I'm Bisaya, so my Tagalog is a bit weird. Yeah, I hate doing cold calling. Though I've hired people to do cold calling. Like when running like businesses, I've done stuff for cold calling, and it works. Cold calling works. I just don't like doing it myself. I do it sometimes when I need to, but as much as possible, I avoid it. I prefer cold emailing. I'm a lot better at that. I'm a lot more confident with that. With lead research, you can earn upwards 50,000, 100,000 a month if you're good at it. If you're not good at it, then you're not going to earn a lot of money, just like any other skill, of course. So if you want to earn a lot of money, become good at a single skill, become very good at a single skill, and keep on doing that. But once again, it's very difficult to start off like that. So my recommendation, start off with virtual assistant work. And then that's when you'll become, you'll become okay at a lot of skills, and then learn to become very good at one skill. Just like, when you go to high school, you learn different skills, and in college, you focus on one skill. Racy seems to be doing this. Great. I charge my clients $12 to $15 per hour for lead gen and cold emailing. Having both skills is really valuable. Thank you, Racy. And also, well, you can earn more, as time goes on. And one thing you might want to look at, Racy, is doing like profit sharing. Okay, that's once you become more advanced. I'm not sure how long you've been doing this, but once you become more advanced, you can say, okay, don't pay me anything. I just want a commission. You charge commission on if you're doing cold emailing on the sales that you make, which can be very valuable as well. Or you charge on a per lead basis. Some people do that. They say, okay, I'll do some research on leads for you. I'll charge you 50 cents per lead, and then you can earn a lot of money that way. Once again, if you learned anything, if you found this useful at all, please hit that share button. Share this with your family and friends. Teach them how to start working from home. Stop being off the police. Earn money from home, earn dollars from home, and so on. And feel free to join our Facebook group as well. We do have a Facebook group, Freelancers in the Philippines, where you can learn more. We have a lot of helpful people and staff to help you out over there. All right, guys. Thanks, guys, for your time. Thank you for spending this time. And on Wednesday, before I almost forgot, on Wednesday, we're having an interview with a successful virtual assistant who is now doing writing and social media work. We have Honey Meal Eduque. We're having an interview next Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. That's what day is that? Calendar, January 17th at 5 p.m. If you want to tune into that, we'll have that live. You may have some questions for her, and that's going to be a great interview. I'm really looking forward to that. Honey is as well, and you guys should too. Okay, guys, see you then. I'll see you guys soon. Bye, everybody.